His power is unequaled. His battles are legendary.
To a modern gaming audience,
this could be the end of civilization.
Get ready.
I've spotted him!
Dear Kung Fu Hot Dog, what film will you choose to review today? Will it be SISU 2, Road to Revenge? Or will it be the left-wing propaganda shit they call Wicked for Good? You have chosen wisely.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I am back from SISU 2, Road to Revenge. And I tell you what, when you watch a film like this, you are fired up. You want a hot meal inside of you, and maybe inside of a hot woman much later on, and a nice hot cup of coffee. But I'm here to break down SISU 2 for you because, oh my God, this might be the greatest last film I have seen at Cineworld this year, come 2025. And without further ado, folks, let's get into this. And as usual, I shall break this down into chapters, which, funny enough, is going to be a very key component of the film itself and my review.
Get ready to unbutton your blouses and zip up your jeans because the main man has arrived. Kung Fu Hot Dog!
2 years after the first SISU, so it's 1946, where we see 410,000 Finnish people looking for other areas of Finland to now settle back into due to the Soviet losses of the Second World War, and our hero, Atami Korpi, has now found himself going back to his home where, now I get a lot of RoboCop vibes here because obviously the great man himself, Peter Weller, induced this into my mind. You remember when Murphy walks back to his home and he relives the memories of his wife and child? And this is a very similar thing, but it's so heartbreaking because you get to see Atami just going through the grieving process, a wife that he had, and by the way, she was a smoking hot fox, 2 sons that he also had. And when he comes to terms of losing his family through such tragic and awful and brutal circumstances, you understand what sets him on the road to revenge. Meanwhile, Igor Dragunov, who we shall call
Captain Cuntface too,
is released from what we assume is a long-term sentence from prison to go and finish the job that the previous bad guy from the previous film could not do. And that's pretty much it. It's a very chalk and cheese setup. No time wasting here. Jalmari Helander understands that he does not want to preach to the audience. Instead, he wants to entertain them. Unlike Russell Crowe in Gladiator, was I entertained? Oh, for 89 minutes, absolutely. This film definitely did not outstay its welcome. Now, something struck me about Jalmari Helander. I think he's a gamer. I think he's a fan of Borderlands because each chapter heading that you see in this film, there's about 6 or 7 chapters, reminded me of Borderlands. Well, when it used to be a great game franchise, they've changed the style of the font, so it's not the Borderlands font, which is Impactor. It's something they've used completely differently in this film. I suppose not to avoid copyright infringement, which is bullshit because everybody uses those fonts anyway and that style of lettering. So that was a nice little touch actually. Was it intentional? I have no idea, but there you have it, folks. Now when it comes to boobies, well, there's only Jorma Tomila's great man boobies to appreciate because there aren't any females in this film at all. So I really don't know why I inserted this chapter into my video review, but guess what? You know I was going to do it anyway. The action in this film is absolutely ridiculous, but not to the same level of the Fast and Furious movies that we've all grown to hate and loathe with a vengeance. Do you see what I did there? Because I am such a writing genius. There is one scene in this movie where our hero, Korpi, finds an abandoned Russian tank. And what he does with that tank will make you laugh, but then there is a strange sense of logic behind all of it. Can this happen in real life? No. It was the job of this sequel to invent new, crazy, wild set pieces that, while they might seem at first ridiculous, you have the investment of the actors' expressions, and I gotta say, this is something I gotta really harken back to. Kind of reminds me of Bill Bixby's often used, much lamented one-liner to Mr. McGee.
Mr. McGee, don't make me angry. You wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
And you understand why Corpy could not save his wife and two sons, who we later find out, by the way, the older brother was trying to defend the younger brother from the Russian onslaught led by Dragunov. And unfortunately, when you find out what happened to the wife and kids in the end, it only makes you hate Stephen Lang's Igor Dragunov even more. But I think it's a game of cat and mouse really, because Igor is really testing the mettle of his adversary. 3 Soviet fighter jets go after Atami, and they do this weird thing in the sky where they suddenly put the brakes on hold, turn the plane around, and the plane starts again. I don't know if that's aviationally possible to do. Maybe. Again, while you know that these aeroplanes are CGI, they do look good for the most part. It adds to the cheesy tone of the film, which, yes, while it's gleefully, brutally violent, and I loved every single blood-soaked minute of this movie. Trust you and me, I did. There was even a chick in the audience. She knows why she was there, the same reason we were all there. But honestly, there were some great set pieces. One seems to outdo the other. And yeah, when we talk about the Warner Brothers Roadrunner, Wile E. Coyote style of people getting flattened by large objects, of course, we see that brought to life here, and it's absolutely wonderful. This is why we go to the cinema, ladies and gentlemen, to appreciate blood gullet, commies being bombed up all over the place, for the sheer sake of being entertained for a very comfortable running time of 90 minutes. And Stephen Lang as Igor Dragunov really gets to chew the scenery. This guy does not fuck around, I tell you. He's a sweary Russian who, if you want to put one over him, he will definitely put one over you. And trust me, you don't want to be on the receiving end of when his character does that. And like the first Sisu, where you had that German Nazi boss at the end, this is the same level battlefield playground we have here, when the two people go up against each other at the end. It's a real brutal mishmash of exchanging of punches. Even a funny scene where on the Soviet train they're actually hitting each other with kitchen implements, which I thought was very funny. And honestly, I cannot praise this sequel enough for being just that. A very joyful, blood-soaked, actually lamenting type of sequel too, because at the very end, which I will not spoil for you obviously, I have actually debated on this channel if this was going to be a trilogy of films. It definitely is not. Even on the review video that I did about a couple of weeks ago on Metacritic, where some people said that the ending was kind of somber, I know exactly what they're talking about now. Now, of course, the messages that ring home for me about this movie is one man's undeniable, unbroken bond with his dog. In this case, it's a Bedlington Terrier. You know what? It just occurred to me that this month is a National Men's Week, National Men's Mental Health and Well-Being, something I strongly advocate here, not just for myself, but for you guys and some of you chicks who actually watch this channel as well, because the very end of this film, even during the end credits, reinforces what it is to be a man, to embrace manliness, to enjoy the benefits that come with it. And it's not about taking your clothes off and shagging every woman you see left, right and center. But the ending obviously didn't have me in tears, but it was just kind of nice to see that there is salvation at the end of a long, treacherous, violent road. But when you see the film, you'll know exactly what I'm referring to. This is not John Rambo for the ages. It's a different kind of hero who, at some point in this movie, has taken so many beatings, so many electrical shocks, so much, well, I can't spell it out any more than I have to before this video gets restricted. But oh my god, to say that this guy has gone through his own personal hell, which by the way, he did not even start. He was a quiet man taking a quiet journey to get back to Finland, only to be thwarted once by the Nazis and almost twice by the Commie Ruskies. And thankfully, they fail on all counts. And if you enjoyed my video today, folks, my review for SISU 2, like it to hell and back, comment down below, and I will catch you catching me for the return of the next video.
A few moments later.
Because have you seen what Finnish women look like?
Yeah. Do you prefer dating foreign guys or Finnish guys?
Foreign.
And why?
Because they're better looking and they're more sweet. Physical, yes.
Any physical traits that you're attracted to?
They're more tan and I like brunettes.